You all know how I feel about the 90s. It was the best. Light-up shoes were invented. Dunkaroos weren't impossible to find. People liked big butts and they couldn't lie. I did not have sexual... Now, in that video, I saw a lot of comments from people saying that they didn't live through the 90s or they were too young to remember the 90s, but it's okay because the early 2000s are basically a continuation of the 90s anyway. False. Nothing could be further from the truth. And today, we're gonna clear that up real fast. Well, not fast, it's gonna be a long video. I wanna be thorough in my trashing of the early 2000s. Your computer was more infected than a zombie apocalypse, thanks to the viruses you accidentally downloaded through LimeWire and Kazaa. Blockbuster turned down the chance to purchase a lesser-known little video service called Netflix, which ultimately sealed its fate. One word, Bennifer. Which, by the way, was the first of the super couple ship names that all y'all do nowadays. And I don't think that's a good thing. Musicians had a rough time breaking into film. From Justin to Kelly. Crossroads. Chillax was something people said in all seriousness. Even The Rock was struggling with movies. I guess you could say he was stuck between himself and a hard place. The song My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas came out. The song Bad Day by Daniel Powter came out. I'd sing it for you, but I don't hate any of you that much. The best way I can sum up the fashion of the early 2000s is going into your closet in the dark, grabbing socks, underwear, a shirt, preferably with 2 or more colors you can pop, pants, a skirt to go over the pants, a hat, a scarf, a puffy vest, and perhaps a tiara, if you're feeling wild. Make sure none of those match, by the way. And everyone's butt cracks were out. And thongs. That was actually a thing back then. I remember, even in my middle school, it was hot for you to see your entire thong in your... Ew, we were children. I hope that's not a thing now. Maybe that's just a kid thing. I hope that's not a kid thing. That sounds so wrong already. I'm moving on. Anyway, we're gonna get into my hatred for this era. Actually, we have already. I'm gonna continue with my hatred for this era. I'm gonna consider anything from 2000 to 2005, give or take a little bit, the early 2000s. I say give or take because Mambo No. 5 was released in 1999, along with All Star by Smash Mouth, and I'm sure all the bad fashion hair and makeup creeped into like 2006, 7. So without further ado, I'd like to get into some examples. Because for anyone who doesn't remember this time, I don't want you to think I'm exaggerating when I say it was weird. And that's coming from someone who embraces weird in general. This was a level beyond what I can even handle. I asked you guys on Twitter to send me the ugliest pictures of makeup and fashion from the early 2000s that you could find, and it doesn't seem like you had a hard time at all with that challenge. So I want to talk about some. Yeah, okay. Need I say more? Let me just sum up what you're looking at here. This is Paris Hilton on a red carpet. She's literally standing on a red carpet in a ruched, hot pink tube dress with a puffy pink vest on with reflective shit on it, it looks like, with a fake tan that can only rival mine. The dress is paired with sparkly silver sneakers that she's only half wearing. Naturally, the laces are tied around the backs of her ankles. What? What are we looking at? And then if we zoom in, we can see the very lovely all silver, non-blended eyeshadow. I'm gonna move on for a second. We'll come back to this one. Wait, no, I love this interaction. Carla Powell said in response to this picture, didn't Kim used to style her? I don't know if that's true, but if it is, we've all evolved quite a lot from this era. Thank God. Oh my God. Oh, Hilary Duff, I feel bad. Ashley Tisdale was iconic in the early 2000s for kind of setting the tone of the most. Here she's wearing a graphic tee, another tank underneath. Layers were like a big thing back then. You had to have several visible shirts on at a time. With a piano purse, which is actually kind of dope, I'm not gonna lie. But a skirt, a sparkly skirt over bell-bottom jeans. Again, friends, I would just like to point out she's standing on a red carpet right now. I don't even know what this hair is actually. I've never seen this before. Is that real? Is that photoshopped? We got Ashley Tisdale again, really doubling down on that jeans under the skirt look. Chunky highlights. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like this isn't the worst of the early 2000s because it looks like candy on your head. Like a chocolatey, swirly treat. Or kind of like a skunk. But this is also coming from someone who had a black streak in the front of my blonde hair for about 6 years in high school, so I'm a little biased. Christina coming through with the skunk hair. Yeah. Yes, the classic. Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, y'all. I kind of wonder if there's some people watching that are too young to even remember that they were once the power couple of America. They once wore a fully denim and rhinestone outfit, complete with cowboy hat and weird shades, to a red carpet event. Ugh, I love it. I love it in a bad way. Like, this is good bad. It's so bad that I'm genuinely glad it happened. Oh, I remember these. These were these like really stretchy shirts, obviously. I mean, look at the size difference. That is the same size as the one that she has on. They looked like they could fit an infant, and then you put them on and they're so stretchy that they fit you. And they just have like a ton of fabric nipples all over them. And that was cool. They were very comfy, to be fair. The thing that just blows my mind about this is that this was the formal attire of the time. These were our icons setting the bar for the rest of us. These were people who had stylists that they paid money to, and they showed up like this. Christina with the thin brows, thick liner all the way around the eye, tons of blush, nude lip, eyeshadow that looks like it was purposely not blended. Pam Anderson with the pink or nude lip, again dark eyes, thin, weird brows, tan, always tan. The super low-rise pants, I don't understand. Like, how were vajayjays not just hanging out all over the place? Maybe they were. Here we have Paris Hilton with those dangerously low pants and a thong out. See? See? I told you it's a thing. I see a G-string string present. That's scandalous. The fact that I remember watching other 13-year-olds walk around me with their G-strings hanging out. Heck, I probably did that at some point. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. If I did, I've repressed it. It's fine. The lingerie tank tops were such a big thing. I had so many. Oh, God. The crimped hair! We'll see that later, don't worry. Ashley Tisdale killing it again. Wow. At least she's matching this time. She picked a color and she stuck with it, at least. Yes, the velour juicy tracksuits. Vital piece of the wardrobe. And honestly, I don't think this is that bad. We're not here to be nice. Oh. Wanna get dirty? That is a very small mini skirt. That is basically a scarf, and that is a scarf covering her boobs. Oh boy. Ashley Tisdale. I am crowning Ashley Tisdale queen of early 2000s fashion. No one else deserves it more than her. Von Dutch trucker hats. No. I can't relive that. Ashley! That hat with the flower reminds me of like the hats you put on babies for their first photo shoot. Okay, you know what? Let's review this picture. This picture is full of legends, first of all. There's one important thing to note about this picture though. Maya looks incredible. She's defied the bad trends of the early 2000s, and she was like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna look back at pictures of myself in 10 years, 15 years, and think, what the hell was I doing? This must have been for Moulin Rouge, because they did their song together. Dun 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 dun. Oh, what is going on here? Here we see Pink with I literally don't know what to call that hairstyle. It seems like she's trying to contact aliens through hair antennas. Antennae? Antennas? Antennae. A long half fur, half foil shirt with a foil halter top. But the real star of this look are the waist area of the jeans. It's like they wanted the pants to go even lower than what was already in trend, but they knew the vagina would be out if they did. So they just scooped out the area on the sides of the vagina so that they could go even lower and you could see her muscles, which I will give her a lot of props for. She had a great stomach. Glitter hairspray. I thought that was maybe only a trend because of being in dance competitions back then, but maybe it was just a thing. I with some glitter hairspray. I know, shocking. Ah, yes, that like twisty hair thing. Whatever the little, it's like a firework at the end of your hair. Oh, yes, one more of Ashley Tisdale to close this out. That's what I want. And this might be her best look yet. Slippers, a pink boa, and a sleep mask on her head as an accessory. This looks like it's at the premiere of Princess Diaries 2. I love her. I don't know much about Ashley Tisdale, but I feel like I just love her now. I think we need to stop. Now that we're well versed in early 2000s fashion, hair, and makeup, it's only right that if I'm going to trash the fashion, hair, and makeup of this era, that I would give myself a makeover to wear it all. Where to begin? Actually, I know exactly where to begin. I need to get naked. Because no early 2000s look would be complete without the worst fake tan of my life, which is really saying something. I'm gonna need a lot. I'm gonna put on so much of this that it no longer permeates my skin and it just starts streaking on top. Strategically this time. Oh yeah. Make sure you get the armpits, that way everything looks nice and cohesive and you smell like self-tanner for the next day. I think if I put on enough of this, it might start to look really orange. One layer done. That's where a normal person would stop. But things were not normal back then. Round 2. The next video where I'm trying to look normal, just be warned, this is why I don't. There we go. There's the orange we're looking for. I'm gonna wait to get dressed for a little bit. I think I need to dry off. Let's get into makeup. First, I'm gonna have to match this beautiful tan on my face. How do we make our face more orange? I'm just gonna layer it on top of my current makeup because foundation didn't look great back then. So neither should mine. I genuinely don't know if I have a foundation dark enough to pull this off, but oh no, wait, that's pretty dark. That'll work. We're gonna just mix that with some lighter foundation. Let's just get a nice orange base going. Look at the... I'm already feeling more Paris Hilton. Ah, it looks like I just stepped off a beach. I already look ridiculous. Holy shit. On the bright side, it's a great way to make your teeth look really white. Look at my hands. Oh my god, what have I done? The other huge thing back then was a crap ton of bronzer, just everywhere. I don't think I own bronzer, but that was the other big thing you had to have to complete the orange look, and you just kind of put it all over your face. Didn't really matter, you know, if it was too orange or too dark. You just did it. Obviously, we're gonna have to get rid of the brows. This is something that continued from the 90s grunge era where we had these pencil-thin frown brows, but let's do them again. No need to be alarmed. I lost my eyebrows because I attempted a jackass stunt at home. You should never do that. I'm just gonna draw these right over my existing brow hairs. I'm not shaving off my eyebrows for an early 2000s look. I know I've shaved off my brows for less, it seems, but this is certainly my cutoff. You know, there is an upside to these brows. They're much quicker to do. Lashes, I feel like were not as prevalent, so unfortunately we're ditching those, and we definitely have some plans for these eyes, so let's get into that fun shit. Actually, that already looks like half the look. I might just leave that there. I know the order in which I'm doing all of this might seem counterintuitive, but I'm just trying to capture the tone of that time, which was all entirely counterintuitive and made no sense. For the eyes, I just want to do that icy white silver all over the lid. Just that. That was the thing. Makeup inspo goes to Paris Hilton. Oh yes, this will be fun. This was a great choice to accentuate your orange tan. I'm not going to focus too much on blending because clearly that wasn't much of a focus at the time. Just kind of like stripe it. Yes, like that over your eyes. Doing a mix of white and silver. Don't forget to get underneath the eyes too, because it's not enough to just have it on the top lid. I think we need nuder lips. I feel like Snob by MAC is the perfect color for this. Very Paris Hilton. I can bash Paris Hilton a little bit because she's made fun of herself for how she dressed in the early 2000s too. And I appreciate her self-deprecating humor. I remember so many girls in my middle school would tightline their eyes like this. really heavy. And they were the girls that all the guys thought were super hot. And then I tried it, and I looked like a raccoon with tiny eyeballs. I was very upset about it. Sadly, I don't think lashes were a must-have back then, so mascara is the extent of what is going to be happening here. Pretty. What else can I do? More blush? And honestly, not all the makeup from this era was this bad. But why do it if I'm not going to do the worst of it? I feel like the face is sufficient, and I think I'm pretty dry, so let's get dressed. Funny story about that, by the way. Originally, I wanted to channel Pop Princess Britney Spears for this, so I ordered this denim crop top off Amazon. It's supposed to lace up the front. It's a little slutty, which, considering we had G-strings hanging out of our pants, was, I think, appropriate. I'm normally a size small in tops, and I don't know if you can tell, but this thing is like a child small. I think I misread. I tried to put this on, and I couldn't move my arms. So, unfortunately, we have to throw out Denim Princess. And in lieu of that, I decided I'm going to channel Ashley Tisdale instead. Because, frankly, I had nothing else that would fit the era. But, if you throw a shirt on, with a spaghetti strap tank or dress on top, and then you add a scarf that doesn't match, you can't really go wrong. These are literally my pajamas. But we know from Ashley Tisdale that that is fully okay. Especially for the red carpet. The only thing left to do here is the hair. And boy do I have big plans for that. Now I can't bring back my skunk streak, but the best way to accentuate an orange tan is to have bleach blonde hair. The side shave was not in at the time, and this is a trend that I'll probably look back on in 15 years and be like, wow. Nonetheless, we're gonna work with what we can. I've come prepared with butterfly clips. And my personal favorite hairstyle of this era was the twisty. And I was good at it, even as a child. I'm sure some of you remember this era fondly based on how many butterfly clips you stepped on. It's just getting worse and worse. Oh yeah, that's a good look. This really brings out the weird shape of my head. Gonna need some twisty firework hair, held up only by butterfly clips. Boy, this is not flattering at all. And last but certainly not least, the crimper. Yeah, let's get that highlight back on that hair. I'm genuinely really excited about this part because I was the crimping queen. I crimped my hair all day, every day, and it takes forever. This is really hot. I think this thing is from the early 2000s. My hair looks like wavy fries. Yes. Look at the steam coming off this thing. Yes! Yes! So happy. I mean, I'm not happy at all, and I don't enjoy this at all. I hate everything about the early 2000s, okay? Don't at me. The worst is when you're crimping your hair, and you accidentally skip too big of a section, and it throws off all the crimps. Like, why was this ever a good thing? This is steaming so much it looks like I'm gonna set off the damn fire alarm. Imagine I start a fire over a crimper. Let's crimp a few pieces, you know? Little accent pieces, if you will. Oh, yes. Oh, that's just what we needed. This thing is like buzzing in my ear. It is a definite fire hazard. Do not recommend. Yes! Let me turn that off immediately. And you know, just run your fingers through your hair, separate your crimps a little, floof it. And then just really make sure those fireworks are going up top. And done. I would ask you guys what you think of this look, but I don't think I need to because this is the prettiest I've ever looked. This complements my natural skin tones best. This is a very flattering outfit. The hair really brings out my facial features along with this very subtle makeup. There's a party going on in my hair. In all seriousness, you guys, it's fun to bash old trends because we can all look back on how ridiculous we looked at one point or another. But two things. One, that if you like a certain thing to style yourself, whether it's hair, makeup, or fashion, or body modification, or whatever, if you like it, you should do it, no matter what anyone else says. because what you wear on your body has absolutely no effect on anyone else. So as much as I'm sitting here bashing the way that everyone looked, I didn't even get into men's style, but trust me, there's plenty to be said there too. It doesn't really matter what I think, and this is all lighthearted and honestly poking fun at myself in a lot of ways because I did a lot of these things. This was eye makeup I wore, for real. I still have bad fake tans every week, for real. Although this one is top notch. The second thing is that I'll admit some parts of the early 2000s were actually kind of great. I still think the 90s were way better, don't get me wrong, but rock music in the early 2000s was amazing, and I wish it would come back, honestly. And flip phones were the best. We had the Razr, we had sidekicks. I wish they made a sidekick version of the iPhone, or a Razr version of the iPhone, where it's still a smartphone, but you get the flip action, or you get the flip action. There were plenty of great movies still. There's definitely some. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's some. And overall, I just wanted to have some fun and hit the nostalgia feels like I love to do in a way that I don't usually do. The time period was tacky. Speaking of shameless self-promotion, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already. Hit the bell because the bell is basically the new subscribe button. And like this video if you think I've never looked better. And otherwise, I will see you guys in next week's video where I will probably still be regretting what I've done to myself with this tan. Depending on how long it lasts, we'll see. Bye.